Hello and welcome to another video from Between CAD Classes. Today I'm going to be creating the 3D model that you see here in Autodesk Inventor. Before I begin modeling, let's take a look at the workflow that we're going to follow in the creation of this part. To start with, I am going to create the base feature with the curved shape. Next, I'm going to add the extruded feature just below the main feature. Then I'm going to add the angled shape on top. Then finally I will add in the hole to give me my completed part. If you would like to try this along with me, you can find a link to the detailed drawing in the description for this video. Let's jump into the first feature. So the first feature, as I take a look at my detailed drawing, I'm going to look at the bottom view and I can see that the center of the curved shape is 86 millimeters from the left side there, and the curve has a radius of 64, which means the total width of the part is going to be 128. Then as I look at the front view, I can see that this is going to be extruded at depth of 12. So in Inventor, I'm going to start a new part based on the standard millimeter template. Then I'm going to start a new sketch on the top sketch plane. While I'm on the top sketch plane, I can see that my view cube rotated sideways, so I'm going to click the rotate button once to the left to orient it properly. Then I'm going to create my shape. Initially, I'm just going to sketch it and not worry about the dimensions. I'm going to add my dimensions after the fact. So I'm going to start with a line, and I will pick at the origin point here. And I'm going to come to the right, and once again, I'm not going to worry about the dimensions. I'll come back and add those after, so I'll go ahead and click a point. Then I want to create a tangent arc off of here. There's two ways you can do this. You can go and actually choose the arc command, or if you stay in the line command, if you hover over that endpoint that you just drew, it'll turn gray. Then you can click and drag away from it and it will create a tangent arc. Notice that if I hover back over it and drag it the other way, it's tangent in that direction. And you can even go tangent to the 90-degree increments from there. So I just want to make sure I drag initially to the right and then up until it lines up directly above that first point, then let go. And you can see it switches back to the line command. I can go ahead and draw back to the left and back to my original point here. Then I will add in some dimensions. So I will dimension the radius of this arc as 64. Then I will dimension one of these two lines as 86. If your sketch did not fully constrain, it might be necessary to add a tangent constraint between one of the lines and the arc. Now that mine is fully constrained, I'll go ahead and click Finish. Then I will extrude, and I'm going to go up a depth of 12 and enter. I'll go ahead and select my home icon and I can see my part there. Next, I'm going to add the extruded feature underneath the part. So as I take a look at my detailed drawing, I can see that that shape is 16 millimeters wide, and if I do a little math, the full depth is 18. We just had the extruded depth of 12, so that's going to leave us a depth of 6 millimeters for this extrusion. So back in Inventor, there's a couple of different ways I can do this. I could extrude from the side if I wanted to and sketch the shape here, or I could sketch underneath the part, and that's actually what I'm going to do. So I'm going to rotate my screen up. I'm going to sketch on that bottom surface. I'm going to use my Project Geometry tool and click on that surface so that it projects all the edges of that shape. That will allow me to only draw one line. So I'll just simply draw a horizontal line across, then come back with a dimension between that line and the edge there of 16. I'll go ahead and finish, then extrude, select that rectangular shape there, and then enter in the depth of 6 that we had calculated. And that gives me my second feature. Next, I'm ready to add in the angled feature. So let's take a look at the detailed drawing, and we can see that this shape is going to be angled up at a 30-degree angle. And then if I look at the auxiliary view, I can see that the center is located 68.5 millimeters from that left side, and it's going to have a radius of 50. So back in Inventor, what I'm going to need to do then is to create a work plane at an angle. So I'm going to rotate my screen around so I can view it from the other side here. And then I'm going to use my work plane tool. This will take two inputs. One, the plane that I want to be at an angle to, so I'll click the top plane here. And the edge that I want to use as my rotation axis, so I'll select this edge here. Now I can type in the angle I want to be from that surface, so I'll go with 30. Then I will click the Finish check. And now you can see that I've constructed a 30-degree work plane. So this is where I want to sketch. I will select my 2D sketch and pick on the edge of this work plane. And I'm going to project this edge right here so that I can dimension from it and also use it as part of my extrusion. So I'll choose Project Geometry, and then I will just simply pick that edge. Then, very similar to what I did on the original shape, I'm going to sketch this with lines. So I'll draw a line from that projected edge up some random distance. Again, I'll come back with dimensions. Then I will click and drag on that edge to create a tangent arc. Then I will draw back to that original edge there. And that will give me the beginning of my shape there. So now I need to add some dimensions. I'm going to dimension the arc with a radius of 50. And then the center to that projected edge is going to be 68.5. And then finally, I just need to center the shape on the other extrusion. So remember, the original extrusion was a radius of 64, so I'm going to dimension from the center to the side edge over here, 64. And that will give me my closed shape that I can extrude. So I will finish sketch, then I will extrude this into the part. So I'll choose Extrude. You can see my shape was automatically selected. I'll flip the direction. Now on this one, I don't want to put in a value, because if I put in a value, I'm going to end up with some material extending past the part. What I want to choose instead is this option right here, To Next. That way it will extrude and the material will terminate at the next surface that it runs into. I'll go ahead and click OK, and now we can see the extruded feature there. I'm going to turn off the visibility of my work plane. I'll just simply right click on it over here in the browser and select visibility. Finally, I'm going to add my hole, so I will consult my drawing one last time to see that it is a diameter of 76 and it cuts completely through the part. So back in Inventor, I'm going to create this using a concentric hole. I'll select the hole command, then select the surface that it's going to go on. Then I will select the arc so that it's concentric to that arc. Then I will adjust my diameter of 76. I will make sure that the termination is set to Through All and click OK. I'll give this part a final spin here, and again we can see the hole cut through, resulting in an elliptical shape there on the bottom. I hope you found this Autodesk Inventor tutorial helpful. If you'd like to see some more, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.